Hey guys, how's it going? Scotty here. I'm here with Sam, my physio from FOUR Physio.
How you going?
Good. Sam has helped me through, I don't know how many injuries over the years, getting me ready. Getting ready for races, fixing me up after races. So I thought it'd be cool to come on here and have a chat with Sam. As I've sort of shared, I've just finished Ultra Trail Australia a few weeks ago, and so wanted to talk a bit about the return to running after an injury, after a race in particular. What is the difference between sort of normal post-race soreness versus kind of something that athletes should be concerned about?
We can expect some soreness post-race.
Yeah.
So especially for the longer distances or when we're pushing into the higher intensities and we're looking to get PBs and the like, we're going to push our muscles in our body beyond our normal limits. It's going to be an overreach to achieve that goal. So we can expect soreness a bit like when you're in the gym for the first time.
Yeah.
But what we would be more concerned about is if soreness is lingering for too long. So there's a long recovery post 100-mile race, and so that time frame stretches out a little bit longer.
Yep.
But more if we're looking at, let's use 100 miles as a rough gauge. If we're still sore beyond the 6-week mark, it's feeling like an overload type symptom, but it's still hanging around. Or if we're having really high intensities of pain when trying to return to running or strength training. So really over a moderate, say 5 out of 10 pain would be kind of my cap. And then, if it's lingering for too long, the other kind of two variables that I'll be looking at.
Flying on from that, any guidelines on when it is safe to kind of ease back into kind of more normal training, more kind of higher intensity sessions, or kind of getting back to that kind of normal volume of training as well?
There is good research to say the longer you go in a race, the longer the recovery period from half marathon's been around the week or so mark, out to the ultra distance is out to 6 weeks to fully recover, so 100 mile, 6 weeks. And then in the expedition races like adventure races, God's Own, the like, it can be 8+ weeks. The rule of thumb is saying have 2 weeks off running to start with. Let the body recover, let tendons settle down. For example, they take a lot longer than muscles to adapt. Just slowly returning back into your training. So starting really gentle, much lower than what you were previously doing at your peak of your training, and just tick the box and make sure that you're feeling okay with that. You'll probably feel some fatigue, and then we're just slowly scaling that running volume up. And then I probably wouldn't do any high intensity sessions post 100-mile race until you're kind of that month past. But at very earliest would be 2 weeks for some of the elites like yourself that are maybe used to these bigger races.
And that's something I think is pretty common with athletes I coach and people that you see on the table is that that whole week later, I feel amazing, I feel great, and it's like you feel great compared to how you felt the day after the race kind of thing. And I think part of that is the problem with people kind of getting into things too soon after a long race, and then the amount of times I've heard people that end up having Achilles tendon issues or hamstring tendinopathies and upper hammy stuff because as you say, like the muscles were feeling pretty good a couple of weeks later, but the tendons obviously take a lot longer, so
haven't recovered. And so even if there's not pain, heart rate can be a really good thing to look at as well. So elevated heart rate above what would be normal for kind of that easy run on returning, that's a really good sign you haven't recovered, and therefore we just need a little bit longer.
So what are some general kind of changes or advice you'd give an athlete based off just finishing an ultra, looking ahead more than 6 weeks until they're maybe future kind of race plans and stuff? Is there any kind of general advice you'd give people or any kind of pointers as they are kind of getting back into a new training program, building towards the next race?
One is good load management. So that comes from that deload straight after the race and not getting too excited. I've just finished my first ultra and I want to do another one ASAP. Giving yourself that rest period, not too long that you're going to decondition, but long enough to recover. And then we have ideally a coach or someone that's guiding you, that's a professional and knows what they're doing, like yourself, to then build a good plan back from where we kind of that next start point to the goal. Overreaching tends to be the main reason people come to see me. Their capacity is here, they're trying to do this, and that could be
myself included.
Me and myself, like it could be the one single session, or it could be week on week just jumping up mileage too much. So getting that plan, so we call load management, is probably like top of the pyramid as far as what's going to be the most beneficial for you. Strength training is very valuable. We've just seen Scotty in the last couple of years, and the reason for that is the adaptation that happens from strength training compared to just running is a little bit different, but helps to support our running. So for example, it'll build thicker, stronger tendons that will then spill over for your running, give you more resilience to use those tendons with running. So especially, it's important for all running, and there's performance improvements as well as reducing risk, but As far as like trying to get better with what you're trying to do and trying to keep going and that longevity of running, that strength training component and making sure we're doing enough but not too much is a really important factor for the long distance stuff.
Alrighty guys, so there you have it. A few key questions answered by Sam the expert. And so when you do finish your next race, just remember patience is key. Gradually ease back into things, and as much as I love seeing Sam, it's good to not have to see your physio too often. So yeah, by being a bit smarter after your next race, hopefully that'll mean the next time you do build back into training, it can be a little bit smoother.